Welcome back. To Satisfactory. Okay, we're ready to go here. We've already kind of planned it, but looking at it again, I think I've replanned it. I kind of want to build it right on top of this, but do I want... So, part of me says I'll have to just do something else for all the coal. We'll just let this be the compacted coal output, and we'll run this one truck on compacted coal as well. So we could put the factory right on top of here. Assuming all 12 can fit. That's my worry. For some reason, I didn't bother to count how many of those I went up with. Built into the side of a mountain. Let's take a peek from higher up here. Oh, we ran through all of that. Wow. No, we don't actually have an uploader for concrete. That's a mistake. 1, 2. Let's see how many of these we have. 6 across. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it. Let's get some of this stuff out. We'll drop some of these blueprints, get some of this stuff out of our inventory. Build mode auto connect. Will auto connect work for me is the question. I feel like my stuff is going to be so weird that I'm never going to get the benefits of auto connect. seems like auto connect and blueprint should do basically the same thing. I guess I'm gonna have to get this into the nudge zone. Yeah, I'm not sure what auto connect is going to do for me. Because it definitely isn't doing anything for me right now. So I think I'll just go back to blueprint mode. Like, I don't even see them hinting at an auto connect. Seven more of these. It's kind of a lot. At some point, I'll come back and make this like a overlapping highway super cool situation. We are going to have to do something interesting to get the coal out of here now that we've got this compacted coal prioritized. Well, it's bound to happen. Oof, that turned into a misclick as well. Okay, so now we just have to connect the compacted coal and the Not the compacted coal. Well, I guess technically we do have to connect the output of the compacted coal, but mostly I was thinking about the input. It's going to be interesting. I'm trying to think, how will it... So it's probably dropping off at... All right. I'm kind of thinking a couple steps ahead here, which is my wonder is like, if we allow the compacted coal and coal to mix, how will it go? My guess is that it drops off at 0 slot and pulls from the last slot. So you could theoretically get in a situation where you never transition to compacted coal unless you do something active to make it happen. But I think that the basics are still true. Go ahead and slot this in relatively close. Uh-oh. Okay. I was like, did I include a place for power on these? What's the speed on this? 20. Oh man, I had these all underclocked. I forgot that I did that. I'm gonna have to come back by and change the speeds. Technically though, I don't really need a lot of compacted coal right now. I could probably get away with burning less power to make power. That's the only downside to compacted coal, is that you do end up using a bit more power than you otherwise would have used if you just burned the coal. But then the efficiency of the compacted coal is ridiculous. So kind of hard for me to pass that up. I guess I'm confused about what this auto connect is supposed to do for me. I've yet to see it help me out. What I'll do is I'll make the compacted coal the fuel for our truck, and hopefully future trucks. Uh-oh. We burn through our steel beams. That's not good. That's why I was checking on the speed, because I wanted to know if the steel beam belts were going to be fast enough. Let's see. Do we happen to have any steel beams over here? It's possible that the uploader is so slow. And that's what it was. The uploader was so slow. I want to have trucks down below and factory line above with a little bit of design on top. Do I even have the ability to build the light switch? I don't know that I do. Yeah, I might need to unlock that. So it's going to take a second before we put those in place. At the very least, everybody will have coal to start. Good news is we already have access to a good chunk of what we need. Now I just want to maybe we don't need any of this now. A lot of this stuff was put in place because we didn't have lots of high-speed belts. High-speed being a Mark II or Mark III this early in the game. I kind of want to get myself some industrial storage container buffers. I'm limiting myself to 1 belt's worth, but I think that's all we can. Going along this edge actually is going to be pretty nice. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I might have to chop down a tree or two. Can't put it right behind it. This might not work either. I could just change the direction of this. Doesn't like that either. Yikes. Okay. Maybe we'll just have to reroute what's going on down below. I'm just going to assume that I've got that figured out. Excuse me. All right. Ooh, nice and snug, but no clipping. Why is it going in that direction is the question. Can I build the wall mount with nothing on it? It's dropping levels. I'm gonna have trouble with the level. Where are we right now? 14? Actually, that looks pretty close for an eyeball. Just run a nice little... It'll be under here, so we won't have to deal with the ramifications of it not being perfect. Oh, I did that whole thing wrong, didn't I? Because I wanted to get this side connected. Lots and lots of buffer storage for the sulfur side of things. Though admittedly, it's kind of far away. At some point, once we get into actual factory building mode, aesthetics building mode, we'll have all of this go. What a horrible time to crash. I will be right back. Okay, we're back. We lost a little bit, but not too much. I had to rebuild that belt, and then we'll just rebuild this power. Together. That looks like it's flowing pretty nice. I had these slowed down because I was trying to use the exponential nature of underclocking to our advantage. $46, you know, technically speaking, we only need 100 or so compacted coal to fully utilize our mini coal power plant. 12 of these is still making twice what we need. I might actually have to, it might make sense to go down the line here and alter it, but we're not going to worry about that for right now. It's making enough compacted coal for us to make some moves. So, compacted coal comes out, drops down, recharges. Let's take this out as coal. So now we've got we'll take all this coal out. Boo, crash number 2. It's too bad. I'll be right back. Well, that time we crashed right where we were. It just gives me an opportunity to grab my solid biomass. Oh, this truck has coal inside of it that it can't get rid of. let's get started with the compacted coal right away. And then what I'll do is I'll jump back over here and we'll use this quote-unquote extra coal to make some steel. And then we'll just know that, hey, we need to get a steel factory going here pretty soon, so we can burn off this coal. Man, you know how terrible it would be if any of this was compacted coal? I'd have to spend... I'd have to rebuild belts and trace back all this stuff. Yeah, we need to make sure we don't accidentally drop compacted coal when we want to have coal. Why is only one? Oh, it's trying to decide. Alright, compacted coal. Coal. Alright, hold on. So these splitters have an internal buffer on them. But, well, as soon as I said I thought it was clear, apparently it's not. Now it's looking clear. The coal and compacted coal icons are way too close. This guy's struggling with water. I just want to get my inventory free of compacted coal. I feel pretty confident these guys will figure out the rest. So let's drop this coal off and make a little bit more steel out of it. It's actually going to be a good chunk of steel. I'm pulling everything in because I know it's coal. Then if I find one of those ones that just appeared, I'll know for a fact that I'm moving coal only and not risking slotting compacted coal where I don't want it to be. You know, I just realized I didn't remember where I put all my stuff. Oh, that's right. I left it over by the tractor hub. So the good news is now we have a lot of coal from this one location that we theoretically can pull in. My initial instinct would be to just say, hey, we're going to use 50-50. But that's not necessarily correct. I mean, this is, well, I was just about to say this is free flowing, but apparently we did catch up on both sides. Just want to make sure that everything is connected. Beautiful. Looks like we're all set. So, the big thing that we're looking at right now is that we need more water. So we need to upgrade our water pipes. In order to do that, we got to find oil. Of course, I don't necessarily need a massive proper oil factory to start. I could just unlock it, make a little bit of oil, make a few rounds of plastic, ideally upload them, and then use them as needed. And then we're going to need a separate location, I think. To properly consider the drop-off point for plain coal. The problem is this guy's really not going to be transporting that much. Yeah. 225, 47. Oh, you know what? We got a potential problem here. He's got coal in his fuel. No, I just put dirty old coal back into the system. You know, I could track that down, but I'm not going to. They'll figure it out. And we've got power to back it up. The real problem is that these pipes are not... Well, technically I could say that there's not enough pipes. But I think we really need to just upgrade this to Mark II pipes before we get too far down the line. So this has some potential to look cool. The concrete factory is probably going to go up a bunch of levels. But this compacted coal factory is basically done from capacity standpoint. We'll have to come back and figure out some sort of super awesome aesthetic. But for a basic compacted factory or a compacted coal factory, I think we're doing okay. Okay. I think after that, now that we've got that kind of in place, that kind of leaves us to consider some coal-based inputs. Though technically we haven't really finished our metals factory yet. Of course, in order to finish that, we need a good amount of steel. So the temptation is to make a steel factory. A steel factory first. The real problem with that is once you start talking about steel, you want some speed on your belts. Our speed's kind of low right now, 270. All right, that's our last crash. We'll figure the rest out. I think we'll have to just go with the steel factory next. Of course, in order to do that, we're going to need a ton it's probably going to take us some serious infrastructure improvements to get that part done. Okay, thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.